All right, here we go. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check 2 1 2. All right, we're good. Okay, it's 10:01 on Sunday night. This is Monday's lesson. A little update on what's going on with me. Beginning this week, my child is being born, so I will not be available on Monday, so tomorrow or Tuesday. Well, this is you're watching it on Monday. Okay, hopefully. Okay, so Monday and Tuesday, I'm taking off completely. So what does that mean? I won't be checking email, and I won't be checking Schoology. Will I have downtime in between sessions or in between um, just when nurses come in and out? Yeah, I will. Will I check Schoology and email? Probably. Okay. But don't bank on me being there to respond immediately like I usually do. Okay. Monday and Tuesday, completely off. The soonest I will get back to you is probably Wednesday. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay. Grades are final from last chapter. Your grade should be updated and current. Please look over your grade. Okay. If you think you had a 74 and I gave you a 68, please message me. We'll get that figured out. Okay. Schoology and Tech have syncing issues all the time. All the time. Okay. Double check your grade for me. I got 150 students. Some students will fall through the crack as far as the grade slipping up, and it is what it is. Okay. So stay on top of it. Make sure you know what you should have. Okay. If you think you turned an assignment and I give you a 0, well, send me a message. I'll pull it up, and if you did turn it in, I will give you a 4, no problem. Okay, but all that homework is done. Okay, I'm not going to accept any late work. What's done is done. Okay, we move on. If you're not happy with your grade, figure out a way to change it. Okay, do the homework. Some of you did pretty not as well as you want on the test because we have been using Slater. We have not been showing work. You have not been doing problems like I have taught you to. Okay, so that means you're not watching the video, you're just doing Slater. Well, I can see clearly who did that, very clearly, and it hurt you. It definitely hurt you. Okay, but as long as we do the homework, it will keep our grade afloat. Now, with that being said, I'm not going to be as lenient. I put this in the update. I'm not going to be as lenient on showing work and not showing work. It's just I'm tired of seeing Slater. I'm tired of seeing just answers. It blows my mind. There should be work. Your work should look like my work. If you don't show good enough work, I'll give you a 3. If you don't show any work, I'll give you a 2. If I'm in a bad mood, I might give you a 1. Okay. And I'm going to be on minimal sleep for the next couple of weeks. So pick your poison. Okay. It's not meant to scare you. Anything like that. I just need you guys to start doing work because we're going to come back into school in person. You're going to have pen and paper test, and we're not going to know what to do because we've been used to slatering or looking it up on Google. Okay. All right. Here we go. So matrices. Okay, what is a matrix? A matrix is a fancy way to list numbers, any numbers, in rows and columns. Okay, it's a specific way to do it. There's some properties that go along with it. It's a pretty cool thing in math. Okay, if you pay attention through this unit, you might learn something, and it will help you on the ACT and SAT, or college if you go into college and you're taking math classes. Okay, matrices are very fun to work with. If you're new to them, please pay attention. If they're not new, that's all they should be reviewed. Okay, this is going to be a basic overview. Adding, subtracting, multiplying scalars, and identifying between equations. Okay, if you set two matrices equal to each other, solve for the variable, yada yada. Okay, so first thing we want to start with, we want to start off with matrix dimensions. Think of it like a rectangle, right? A 3x4 rectangle, a 2x4 piece of wood. Okay, it's rows versus columns. W. Rows, oh no, columns. Okay, I think I misspelled columns. Is the M before the M? Oh no, I think we're good. I think we are good. Okay, oh, it's right here, good. Aha, I did spell it right. Okay, it's rows times columns. So rows compared to columns, it's a ratio. Okay, however you want to think of it, go ahead and think of it like that. That's how we name it. That's how we name dimensions. Dimension of a 2x4 is 2x4. Okay, so let's just do the first three. how many rows, how many columns? So how many rows do we have in the first one? We have 1, 2 rows. Remember, rows are horizontal, columns are up and down. Okay, we have 2 rows, how many columns? 3. So this is a 2 by 3. Okay, pretty simple. Next one. Now, don't let this one trip you up. It looks confusing, it's not. Just stick to the process. How many rows, how many columns? We have 1, 2, 3 rows, and we have 1 column, 3 by 1. Okay, what about the last one? We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 by 2. Okay, pretty simple. But the reason why we're doing that is if this sentence right here is why we're doing it. Okay, to add and subtract matrices, you must first ensure that the matrices have the same dimensions. Okay, this is why we are doing this. If we want to add and subtract, they have to have the same dimensions. It's got to be a 2 by 2 versus 2 by 2. It's got to be a 3 by 2 versus 3 by 2. Okay, let's go ahead and name off all the dimensions on these 4 problems. So what are the dimensions of these 2 matrices right here? This one is a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 2. They are both 2 by 2. Okay, what about this one? Are these the same? 1, 2, 3, 3 by 2. Okay, are these the same? Yeah, they are, right? 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, what is that? 2 by 3? There we go. Okay, last but not least, we have 2 by 2 plus 2 by 2. We're good to go. So all of these are good. They are valid. We can do the operations. Okay, now how do we do it? All right, first I need to talk about addresses. Think of address like a like Google Maps, like a Google Maps address. This tells you where that point is. Okay, so here we go. So let's take a basic 3 by 3. Let's take a basic 3 by 3 matrix. All right, and I want to individualize each one of the addresses for the points or numbers in the matrix. Okay, so this very first top left spot, it is in row 1, column 1. Row 1, here are the rows, 1, 2, 3, and here are the columns, 1, 2, 3. Okay, row 1, column 1. So we're gonna have row 1, R1, C1 is the address. Okay, that's the address for that number of the matrix. Okay, what is this one gonna be right here? Row 1, column 2. Now row 1, column 3. Okay, what changes down here? Just the rows, right? Row 2, column 1. Everything else is the same. Row 2, column 2. Row 2, column 3. Down here, just the row, right? We're now in the third row. Row 3, column 1. Row 3, column 2. And row 3, column 3. Okay. What that is the address to the point. I can't, or the number, or, I mean, I can't stress it enough. Okay, these are very important. Why are they important? Okay, if I add a 3 by 3 matrix to another 3 by 3 matrix, how we do that is if we take each individual address and we add it to the corresponding address in the other matrix. Now, what does that mean? Okay, so we have this right here, this 2 is row 1, column 1, right? In my first matrix. Okay, what number does that correspond to in the second matrix? Well, it's going to correspond to that same address. That's why I say address. Okay, it's going to correspond to this same address. What number is in row 1, column 1? Well, it's going to be the 1. Okay, so what am I going to do with those? I'm going to add them, right? Because that is my operation. I'm going to add those numbers. So my resulting matrix is going to be a 2 by 2. It's going to be the same thing as my dimensions. So this is 2 plus 1. Okay, right here. All right, next one. We have row 1, column 2. Negative 1 corresponds to 2. So we have negative 1 plus 2. Okay. Now we go down the row. So next we have a row 2, column 1. That is my 3. And what does it correspond with? It corresponds with the 4. Row 2, column 1. We have 3 plus 4. What color do we want? Yellow? Sure. Okay, hope the colors help. They help me. Okay, last but not least, it's the only 2 numbers we have not highlighted. 0 corresponds to -2. So we have 0 plus a -2. Voila. Now all you gotta do is do the math, do the addition, and then rewrite your resulting matrix, right? So 2 plus 1 is gonna be 3, -1 plus 2 is gonna be 1, 3 plus 4 is gonna be 7, and 0 plus -2, which is just 0 minus 2 is -2. Okay, we all good? Very, 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 very simple. Let me correspond the colors. It is what it's 10:13 at night. Okay, I'm doing this to keep me awake. It's gonna be a long night. All right, so that's the first one. Let's do number 2. Okay, we have a 3 by 2 times a 3 by 2, 3 by 2, or 3 by. I know you guys usually do this. Don't think of this as multiplication. Just think of this as the word by. 3 by 2. Okay. I've had students confuse that in the past. Do not do that. Just think of it like a word. 3 by 2, 2 by 4. You've heard that multiple times. Okay. So we have 3 by 2 minus 3 by 2. Now we're just doing subtraction, the opposite of addition. All right, so now let's look at the addresses and corresponding numbers. Let's do the same exact thing. I can't use highlighter here because I'm going to run out of highlighter colors. Okay, so just pay attention with me. So my resulting matrix is going to be a 3 by 2. All right, so my row 1, column 1 is going to be 2 minus a -1. Boom. Okay, there we go. My row 1, column 2 is going to be -3 minus 2. All right. Now my second row is going to be row 2, column 1, row minus row 2, column 1. So 5 minus 7. Okay. Next one is row 2, column 2, 4 minus 8 is going to be -4, but we'll write it like this for now. 4 minus 8. Okay. My row 3, column 1 is -2 minus a -5. So it's going to be plus -2 minus a -5. We'll just write it like that. So don't get it messed up. 8 minus 6 is my last one, be row 3, column 2. 8 minus 6. Okay, now all we gotta do is do the math. That's the easy part. Okay, 2 minus a -1 is 2 plus 1, which is 3. Okay, -3 minus 2 is gonna be -5. 5 minus 7 is gonna be -2. Okay, 4 minus 8 is gonna be -4. -2 plus 5, right? Because 2 negatives make a positive, it's gonna be 3. And then we're left with 2, 8 minus 6. And we're done. Okay. All right. I'll do one more. Okay, I'll leave the last one for you guys to do. Okay, so we have a, what, a 2 by 3 minus a 2 by 3? We can totally do that, right? Okay, let's go a little bit faster this time. So my resulting matrix is going to be a 2 by 3. So I take row 1, column 1, 6 minus 5. Next one's 5 minus 5. That's my row 1, column 2. My row 1, column 3 is going to be 3 minus 5. Okay, now we're done with that row. My row 2, column 1 is going to be 8 minus 4. 7 minus a -6. And 8 minus a -3. These are pretty easy. That's why I picked the matrix unit. It's an easy one to lead in to go into hybrid or whatever we're doing. I still don't know. I don't think anybody knows if we're going full remote or hybrid or who knows. We got to be flexible. Okay, the resulting matrix is going to be, let's actually do the math. 6 minus 5 is uno. 5 minus 5 is 0. Don't leave it blank. Okay, don't leave it blank. It's a 0. Write a 0. 3 minus 5 is -2. 8 minus 4 is going to be 4. 7 minus a -6. Two negatives make a positive. 7 plus 6 is what? 11 or 13? Sorry. It's late. 8 minus a -3. 8 plus 3, that's 11. That's what I was getting it from. And we're done. Okay, I'll leave this last one for you guys. It's an easy 2 by 2 plus 2 by 2. The answer is in the filled in notes section on Schoology. I'm not sure if you guys know I do that, but not only do I make the videos, but I also post the filled in notes. Okay, if you just want to look at those and double check your answers. Okay, or if you want to look over it before the lesson, doesn't matter to me. Okay, next we have, so we just did addition and subtraction there. Now we have scalar multiplication. What is a scalar? A scalar is just a number. Okay, it's just a number that we're going to multiply through every individual other number that we have in our matrix. Okay, it's just a number outside of our matrix. That's called a scalar. We're going to multiply this scalar into every one of these numbers, and that is all we're doing. Okay, got nothing to do with dimensions. It's still going to be a, what is it, a 3 by 2? It's still going to be a 3 by 2. Okay, we just got to multiply the 2 all the way through. So what do we have? We have 2 times 3. I'll write it. I don't think I need to, but it's good to while we're learning this. So 2 minus negative, or 2 times -2. Kind of looks like a minus sign. Okay, I just got to write small. So 2 times 1. Boom. 2 times 5. Boom. 2 times 2. Then 2 times 0. I'm not going to do that on the second one. Okay, what are we left with? 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times, see, that even confused me. 2 times -2 is -4. Okay, 2 times 1 is 1. 2 times 5 is 10. 4, 0. Remember, write 0. Don't leave it blank. Okay, pretty easy. Did we do something wrong? Did I do something wrong? I did. 2 times 1 is not 1, it is dos. There we go. Okay. All right, let's go quicker. Okay, once again, multiply 7 all the way through. We're going to have a 3 by 3. Okay. -7 times 2 is -14. -7 times 3 is -21. -7 times -2 is going to be +14. Okay. -7 times -7 is going. Let me change colors. We don't get. It's going to be messy, but it won't be that messy. Okay. -7 times -7 is +49. Okay. And -7 times 5 is going to be -35. -7 times a +7 is going to be -49. For the last one in that row, okay. I think in my notes, I think I did it. I told you guys wrong. Yeah, this one right here. If you're looking at my filled in notes, this one right here, I have -35 twice. That's not good. It's not supposed to be like that. It's just supposed to be -35, then 49, -49. Okay, so that highlighted one was wrong in my notes. My fault. I just noticed it. Okay, so let's keep going. We got one more row to do. -7 times -2 is +14 again. Okay, -7 times -5 is going to be +35. Okay, and then we have -7 times 6, which is -42. Check mark. Okay, don't forget to fix that. Don't just look at my notes and write down what I got. Actually watch the video. I don't know why I did that. It's going too fast. It's okay. That's scalar multiplication. Okay, now last one. Super easy. So easy. Okay, we have 2 instead of a scalar multiplication, or instead of an operation being in between the 2 matrices. Now we have an equal sign. Okay, but they have to be the same dimensions in order for them to be equal. That makes sense. So here's what we got to do. We want to find the variables, like in this one, it has A, B, C, and D. What color? Yellow. All right, so we want to figure out what those variables are. Here's how we do it. Okay, we're going to set up a list of 4 equations in order to do that. How we're going to do it, we're going to correspond our addresses just like we did with the addition and subtraction. But we're just going to set up an equation now. Okay, pay attention here. So my row 1, column 1 is going to be A. What does it correspond to? It corresponds to 4. So I'm going to have A equals sign, drop it straight down. Okay, so what is A going to be? A is going to be 4. That's an easy one. Okay, what is B going to be? B is going to be B equals -7. Okay, done. That's B. Okay, next one's a little bit different. I got to do some math with it. So 2C, what does it correspond to? It corresponds to the 8. Row 1, column, or row 2, column 1. Row 2, column 1. Okay, so my 2C is going to equal. Did that just quit? I hope it didn't. If I did, I'll cut it out. All right, we'll keep going. Hopefully it didn't. All right, we'll keep going. Cross your fingers. I do not want to do this again, but I will. Okay, so 2C divided by 2 is just going to be C. So it's going to be C equals 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay, so that's my C. Now I have D plus 4 equals 6. D plus 4 equals 6. Subtract 4 from both sides. We get D equals 2. Okay, so there we go. Those are our variables. And here's my C. And the yellow for my D. Okay, very, very easy. Just match up the corresponding addresses and then write your equations and solve for the variables if you have to. Sometimes you get the easy ones like the A and the B. But the C and the D, we had to do some math for. Okay. All right, last one, another 2 by 2. I'm not going to use the highlighter this time. Okay, so match up and set your equations. So A goes with a -5. So A equals -5. 4 equals B. Okay, C minus 2 equals 3. Add 2 to both sides, we get C equals 5. Okay, last but not least, we have 8, row 2, column 2, 8 equals 4D. Not 40, 4D. Okay, divide 4 by each side. We get D equals, what was it, 2? We're done. Okay, so once again, here's my addresses. This one is row 1, column 1. Row 1, column 2 for my B's. Row 2, column 1 were my C's. And row 2, column 2 were my D's. All right, hopefully this recorded right because it gave me a little error message. Oh, cross your fingers. It's tough. It's a heartbreaker when you got to do another one. Okay, hope everything's good. Remember, I will answer your Schoology messages by Wednesday. Hopefully everything goes according to plan. Okay, hopefully. All right, and I will see you guys again on Wednesday. See ya.